To be honest, I don't know what to make this video about, honestly. I was just kind of in a yapping mood. But recently, I've been really aware when it comes to myself, self awareness. And I haven't always been that way. I've always been sort of clumsy, not aware, kind of my surroundings, and even with myself, with my behavior, my actions. And for a long time, I really disliked that about myself. I still do. I don't even know why I said for a long time. But that is probably one of my qualities that I dislike the most. I don't want to say I hate that about myself because I feel like a lot of people use that term as like, oh, I hate this about myself. Like it's not right to hate. You should try to love who you are the best way you can. But recently I've been so self-aware to the point where I'm really self-aware of how I speak, maybe like how fast I speak, about my feelings and so on, so on. And it's really weird because I feel like I have the habit of reading to thank for this. I recently got into reading a lot, like a lot, specifically on classical literature and philosophy. Some of my most prominent philosophers so far are Nietzsche, Schopenhauer, and Voltaire. And for classic lit, it's Dostoevsky and Kafka. I've just been so, like, just aware of myself in the way of just, honestly, the way I act, the way I say things, maybe like what I talk about, try to make sense of things, and really just challenge myself to the best I can of my ability in my life. And I just really feel like it's just growing more and more, and I'm so thankful for that. Like a few years ago, me couldn't even begin to comprehend me being like self-aware because I was so rambunctious, so hyper when I was younger. I was like such a loud kid. Not like loud as I would be screaming all the time, but I would talk pretty fast and pretty loudly too. And I would laugh at almost everything. And for a while too, I honestly thought I had like some sort of like mental health thing, like ADHD maybe, or even autism, which I feel like I do have in some way because, I struggle with eye contact sometimes, and I do have that little thing where you repeat after yourself everything you say, like you say it and then like you whisper it again. I'm not sure what that's called, but I know it's something that has to do with autism in some way, but I don't know. I've had my family tell me that they tested me when I was younger, but there was nothing wrong with me apparently. But I don't know. The more I research about autism and the kind of like autisms there are, it kind of makes sense as to my behavior. But even if I am autistic, I don't care. I think it's a good thing. Anyways, I think I was overthinking a lot right there when it came to autism, but yeah, I guess I just wanted to kind of yap on here about just kind of how I've been feeling as of recently, my life. I've noticed that I've been so calm about situations, calm about stressful situations, whether that be maybe like something I'm stressing about that I have tomorrow. Maybe it'd be like some kind of interview, maybe some kind of anything really, maybe visiting a family member that I haven't seen in a while. Because eye contact is not my strong suit, and I'm pretty awkward sometimes, most of the time, even with my family, about just things. Like just stressful things, okay? Stressful things like that. Maybe stressful about some big event you have tomorrow, maybe some homework assignment or whatever you're working on. And yeah, I've just learned to be so calm. I can't exactly explain to you how I became calm, but it kind of just sort of happened with time. And to be honest, I think reading like philosophy and classical literature definitely has helped me with that. Kind of just me being calm. Like I don't see the point of like just arguing about your stress, like just letting it all out, complaining about it. Like I know so many people that complain, and I'm not gonna lie, it's really exhausting to hear someone complain so often. Like I don't know, it's just I don't know if it's me not having patience or just me not really giving a fuck, but it's I don't like it. I don't like people who complain too much. Like try not to complain too much, you know what I mean? Like I've always been the type of person to not complain. I've never been the type of person to just be like so. I'm gonna give like silly examples here, but for example, we're in a restaurant, right? And sometimes maybe the waiter sits down or sits you down somewhere that you're not really fond of, and then they tend to be really picky. You complain about you being close to someone, being close to some people that you don't feel comfortable with, maybe, or they just give you weird looks, and it's just, and you complain about like the smell of something. You complain about just homework. He complained about school life, just complains. Um, I understand people have their stresses, and it can, like, life can suck in those regards sometimes. But it's just whatever, man. Like, you can complain about it, but just don't overdo it. Like, I'm not saying how to live your life. You can do as you wish, but I'm just personally saying, for my personal taste, I don't like hearing complaining. I personally grew up in a pretty stressful environment, in the, like, way of my family always, like, yelling, raising their voices, and just complaining. I think maybe that's why I've grown to not really like complaining. I hardly ever complain about things, whether that be, maybe I want to take, like, a silly example, like I want to take shotgun in the car, and then I'm complaining about sitting in the back. Like, I've never complained about that once in my life. I don't care where I sit. I don't care who I go with in places. I don't care. Like, you're there. You might as well just experience it. Like, you don't have to just experience it with a certain expectation. Okay, expectations. Do not have expectations. Expectations just, in my opinion, ruin things. You shouldn't go in with expectations. Just go in with an empty mind, and just enjoy the experience, enjoy the ride, because you're only here for such a short, limited amount of time that will go by much faster than you know it. Like, I'm 21 right now, and I'm, like, reminiscing about what I could have done at 18 years old, even, like, what I could have started doing. Like, for example, reading. Like, reading, I hated reading so much. I hated philosophy. I hated classical literature, just everything book related. I just hated. But then I became open minded one day, and then I'm reading here now. So I thank the universe for that, honestly, and social media, because social media really played a part in my liking for reading as of recently. Okay, I went on a whole tangent there about stuff on my mind, but that's pretty much it. That's all I pretty much had to talk about, and pretty much what I wanted to get off of my mind, because I feel like a good amount of you guys watching this might relate in some way to what I'm saying. Maybe not 100%, maybe not relating to everything I just said, like everything, but to some of it, I think. If you stay to the end, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'll catch you guys later.